Well, hello and good evening on this wonderful Wednesday. My peeps, how are you out there in Cyberland? All right, friends, it is now 8 o'clock, and I'm not going to be before you long today. I got some things I need to go and handle, but I gotta come on every Wednesday, 5 Pacific, 7, no, 5, what is it, 5:30? No, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, yes. Oh, so many things happening so close to the holidays. 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, my dearies, I am going to go through my quick disclaimer. The information that I share with you guys is for general educational, informational purposes. It's tried and true for me. Listen, but I make no guarantee that you'll get the same results. If you need a consult, make sure you connect with the right folks. Me, I'm the right folks. Anyways, moving on down the road. All right, friends, I last week started my 12 days of giving. So it's floating around, but check my bio. If you want to get an hour with me for free, sign up. So go right ahead. I'm doing this for the next couple of days, actually, to the 26th of December. So that gives me my 12 days. All right, friends. What does the comedian say? You got that low vibration? Today I'm a little bit sleepy. I don't know why, but I just am. Ooh. Anywho, I'm gonna make this thing work. So our topic for today is ADHD or trauma. Just that. That's our topic for today. But before I get there, I want to backtrack like I do every week. What have we already discussed? Pursuing dreams, whatever you pursue, begins to crystallize. Dream killers, fear, past failures, people close to you could be potential dream killers. Write the vision, make it plain. Vulnerability, everybody plays the vulnerable one at one point or another, but being vulnerable isn't a bad thing. Always. It's not. It's not. So use it to propel you in your growth. Walking in defeat. There's a lot of people walking in defeat for one reason or another, but we don't have to stay there. Come on. We don't have to stay there. Everyone will fail at some point. That's success, but it's what you will do with it. Will you stay there in the failure or will you use it to propel you? Which one will you do? Personality traits. Now, that was a big one for me because we all got different personalities. Yes, we do. But is your personality sinking or sailing ships? What is it like to work with you? And last week's uh, chat was about executive functioning deficits. There's a high chance that it's hereditary, but some of us out here in Cyberland, we bringing down the hammer on our kiddos that act just like us. So that was our discussion last week, and that's not what we should be doing. So you know that you may have struggled with certain areas. By all means, we're going to get the same supports for our kiddos. We're not going to bring down the hammer on the kiddos that is doing the same thing that you do. That was last week's topic. All right, friends, this week's topic is, like I said, is it ADHD or trauma? ADHD or trauma. So in article in an article I found on Psych Central, it stated that ADHD is a mental health condition, typically characterized by inattentiveness, hyperactivity, and impulsive behavior. However, trauma, and that, we're going to talk about it, but trauma is a mental, emotional, or physical response to shocking or distressing events or a series of stressful events. The most interesting thing I found was that early childhood trauma can intensify ADHD symptoms. Okay, so not saying that you have ADHD, but trauma can present itself as such. And if you already have ADHD, or if the child has ADHD, the trauma on top of that will exacerbate it. Goodness, and we see it in the schools. Yeah, we often wonder, why is the kiddo running? Um, is it trauma, ADHD, or all the above? All right. So depending on the nature of the trauma, this can lead to children and adults with ADHD to withdraw or have a harder time socially, or to have a harder time with work or schoolwork, which can lead to further worsening of existing ADHD related symptoms. So I found this picture. I should have, why did I not? I'm always prepared with something, and I did not pull up my picture for today. And I do have a picture. But there is a Venn diagram, and it shows, if you download the article for today, then you'll see the picture in there. But ADHD and trauma, they have some shared components. Okay, hyperactivity, impulsivity, forgetfulness, those things line up more so with just ADHD. But difficulty with schoolwork, sleep, behavior, self-esteem, disorganization, agitation, and irritability, they're shared between trauma and ADHD. So those kiddos that we are quick to say, she's ADHD, be that as it may, yes, possibly, but is it trauma? So I know this kiddo, and story time, it's all going to be a story, but I know this kiddo, and I often wondered, because this kiddo that I know typically displays behaviors that line up with ADHD, but I often wondered, is that really the case? Because even after this kiddo took medicine, nobody really saw a difference in this kiddo. I'm asking my colleagues, you notice a difference? I know that they said that he was going to be on something, but you notice something? They're like, no. Nobody ever really noticed a change in this kiddo's behavior. So the medicine that they typically give individuals with ADHD, you notice a lot of times a big difference. There's a noticeable change in children's behavior. Been there, done that, wrote a book. Like I can tell you all the kids that have started taking medicine, and it was like, whoa, I'm not anti-medicine, but I'm all leave that up between you and your doctor. But I've seen where it has worked, and I've seen where there was no change at all. But this particular kiddo, and then my mind started thinking, what could be perceived as trauma for this kid? Could it be that I'm being, kinship care? That's trauma. Why is it that my parents aren't raising me? Why am I with my grandma, my aunt, my uncle, whoever, but it's just not mom and dad? Trauma. That's an ACE. Kids that are being picked on, typically they know that they have different type of behavior, and then other kids up on it and begin to pick up on these kids. They began to bully them and do mean things to them because that kiddo does things that is different, that people perceive as different. You're always doing this, you're always doing that. This is what you do. Trauma. So now when the kid begins to act out, this is what we're left with. And then quickly, he doesn't sit still. He doesn't. It's a fight or flight. Is it time to run? Is it time to fight? So I say that about the one kiddo that I know, but this kiddo has, when I sat and did the math, I said this kiddo has more ACEs than anything else, because I know that the kiddo was on medicine. So this kiddo, in talking to the caregivers, I said, did you notice a change in behavior after the medicine? The family didn't notice a change in behavior. So this begins to tell me, now what kind of supports is this kiddo going to need now? That's a hard nut to crack, folks, when we start talking about mental support. it seems like it's taboo. Nobody really wants to talk about it. It's like, oh gosh, and definitely in the Black community. If you're not Black, I mean, I'm not saying that you wouldn't know anything about it, but it seems to be taboo. We typically don't, at least in my experience. It's not something that's highly spoken about. It's starting to be talked about more so, but it wasn't something that was always referred to. It was more of don't tell anybody about that because you don't know what's going to happen next. Anywho, but it brings me back to this kiddo. What supports, and maybe a kiddo you may know, what supports do we need to get? Because right now, society thinks that educators, we are going to be the be all end all. So when you parents send their kids to school, that teacher that stands before them daily ends up putting on these hats where they have to be the advocate, they have to be the cheerleader, they have to be the teacher, they have to be mental health care providers. Although I'm not trying to be a mental health care provider, but we're trying to do all of these things for our scholars that are coming to our classes every day, trying to meet them where they are. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here before long, but this one really resonated with me for today. Is it ADHD or is it trauma? And if we don't begin to address that as a society, mental health part, we're going to continue to see a spiral. Yeah, because many of our kiddos today have there's a lot of mental health concerns with our young kiddos. I've seen it as young as 6, and I'm thinking, oh my God, sweet peas and collard greens, what happened to this baby that this is happening like this, where there are some issues going on, and then sometimes I do the digging, and then I find out that maybe the home life is unstable, and this kiddo is in a constant state of fright, just constantly. I got to think of the next thing. As young as 6, 5, 4, 3, name it. But we as a society, we're going to really have to address this mental instability, and nip it in the bud right when we notice it. Small children, right when we notice, it's not something they're going to probably just grow out of. Let's nip it in the bud as fast as possible, as soon as possible, before they grow into adults with the same mental instability. And you might be working right next to someone that you're like, what's going on there? But who knows what's the backstory. So, folks, like I said, I wasn't going to be before you long today, but the mental health of our young children today should take priority. We need to take some time to check in with them, find out, and I get it. We all got this busy life. Everybody go, hustle, bustle. Everything is, oh my God, they just doing that. No, really take some time to find out what's going on in the minds of our kids. We really need to do that. It's breaking my heart with the stories that I see with these particular kiddos doing things to other kiddos and thinking it's okay. And then we've got kids who they internalize everything, and then when they explode all over the place. It's like OMG. So, folks, I tell you, if you got young scholars, you got middle schoolers, high schoolers, check in with them and find out about that mental state. And parents, don't just sit with everything is good. Tell me more about that. What's good? Tell me something that's good. What? Because everything is good is probably the canned answer to get you to go, so they don't have to deal with it. But tell me something. Tell me, why is it good? You're not like trying to dig and like trying to make the kiddo feel uncomfortable, but it's like, tell me, because I'm about to tell you about the things that I find that is good, and have that dialogue with your kiddo. Age appropriate, of course, but have that dialogue. Get into their minds. Find out what's going on in there. Whew, good night. It says that one. Oh, I didn't even see that one coming. Really? We really didn't see it coming? But anywho, I digress. That's my time for today. I am going to go and take a nap because on this crazy Wednesday, I am tired. I am exhausted today, and I don't know why. Maybe because I have a birthday coming up very soon. Child, y'all, I'm getting up there. I'm getting up in age. Good night. It's coming up quick. But I do thank you all for joining me. For those who join me weekly, I thank you so very much. For those who share the page, I thank you very much. And I'm going to ask you again, share the page. It don't cost you anything. Comment, share, like, as you see fit. Follow me on my social media platforms. That's awesome as well. I wish you all a happy holiday. I really do. And a happy new year, because it's coming quick. It's coming real quick. You're going to blink, and it's going to be 2023. Good night. All right, my friends, I thank you so very much for joining me today. And your girl is getting ready to go take a nap because I'm tired. I'm exhausted today. Good night. Thank you, and have a good night.